Order! Order! You are an incorrigible delinquent at times. Behave yourself, man!
Thanks, John. Well, it's the fourth strike by junior doctors in their pay and conditions dispute with the Health Secretary, and the two sides seem further apart than ever. Talks at ACAS have long ago broken down, and the government says it will impose new contracts this summer, a move which the BMA says it will challenge in court. So is there any light at the end of the tunnel? Our health and social care correspondent Victoria McDonald has been testing the mood on the picket lines.
They are not really doctors, though they do look fetching in their scrubs. The former cast of Green Wing, back at the hospital where they mainly filmed the series, this time to support junior doctors. You do know you're not a real doctor, don't you?
What? Don't tell the people I just operated on.
How much do you know about the contract? How much do you know what makes you think it's unfair?
My wife had a baby 10 days ago, and I asked everyone in the hospital, from the nurses to the most senior consultants, what they thought of Jeremy Hunt and what they thought of this argument. And the answers most of them gave are not suitable for live broadcast.
If I was asked to do a 20-hour day without any increased remuneration for that, I think I'd stand up and say, if you can stretch me so far and then I'll break and then I can't do my job. And they're making life and death decisions. You know, I might kill a joke. I won't kill a human being.
It livened up a dispute that has had very few moments of light relief, a dispute that indeed shows little sign of being resolved and has, if anything, escalated with the publication of the government's own equality impact assessment of the contract, in which they say,
"We consider that the payments proposed are fair and that any indirect adverse effect on women is a proportionate means of achieving a legitimate aim."
Junior doctors said this contradicted the Prime Minister's own pledge to end the gender pay gap in a generation. And today the chair of the Junior Doctors Committee spoke to strikers on the picket lines about this.
In all other sectors, in business, in law, more and more steps are being made to make the profession more inclusive, whereas this new contract will actually make it harder to take time off as a woman, which is necessary if you're ever going to have a child. And also just being a lone parent is so much harder.
Morning, madam, how are you? Would you like a bath?
The argument is that the new contract will impact on part-time workers and doctors taking time out, for instance, to have babies. And there'll be an increase in weekend work, which will mean higher childcare costs.
We've said all along, all we want to do is get into meaningful negotiations with the government to try and identify and address those issues that were the very issues that were brought up in the Equalities Impact Assessment last week. These are the issues that we've identified for the last 3 years and have been saying consistently are principles we cannot abandon, and the government simply won't get round the table and talk to us.
This is the fourth strike and was condemned by the Department of Health today as irresponsible and disproportionate. So far, 25,000 operations have been cancelled over the dispute period.
We've been working very closely with hospitals to ensure that they have arrangements to ensure that care continues to be delivered to those that need it.
Outside the Department of Health today, student nurses and junior doctors joined forces to stage a die-in because they say the government is killing the health service. They also handed in a petition signed by 110,000 people. The next strike at the end of April is an escalation, and historic, all out with no junior doctor emergency cover, though other NHS staff will be in place. It will also be ever closer to the European referendum, proving an unwelcome distraction for the government.
Victoria McDonald, and of course we did ask to speak to the Secretary of State, Jeremy Hunt, but he was unavailable. He cancelled a media operation this morning where he would have spoken and has not been seen since, and is unavailable to us.
I've been getting away with it all.